Whoa. Hello guys and gals of the internet. This has been a while, isn't it? 7 Chaos of YouTube, 7 Chaos previews of the week, May 25th to the 31st, 2015. Over a month since I've last done one of these. The last one I believe was Mortal Kombat 10 back at the end of April, so it's been a while. Really because most of the games over the last month have I either wasn't originally going to pick up and then later in the week decided to, in Project Cars case, and I think the other one was Final Fantasy X, which I picked up, but I had already mentioned that in my Cinder KI set, and I didn't really think there was much worth talking about, just one game that had been re-released twice after the original release. Unfortunately this week that trend kind of continues, but there is a new release on Friday. The releases are this week Ultra Street Fighter 4 for the PlayStation 4. I know there's a collective groan amongst the internet right now going, oh my god, this again? Yeah, I know. I'll go more into that in a second. And the very unique Splatoon from Nintendo for the Wii U on Friday. I'll go into that as well. Let's get the most boring one out of the way first. Let's get Ultra Street Fighter 4 done, because there's nothing to say. You know, it's basically another definitive edition of an older game. This is going to be a common theme for maybe the next year or so. But with Ultra Street Fighter 4, how many fucking versions of the game have there been already? You know what I mean? I think there was Street Fighter 4, and then there was Super Street Fighter 4, and then there was Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and then there was Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition 2012, and now there's Ultra Street Fighter 4 for the 360 and PS3, and now it's coming out for the PlayStation 4, and it's like, for goodness sake. You know, there's just so many freaking versions of this game, but I will be picking it up because I actually did enjoy Street Fighter 4, and the only footage I ever did for it was back in my digital camera days, and that was the only one I did. I never did some direct capture footage. I think it would be nice to debut Street Fighter 4's direct capture side of things, but you know, aside from having all the costumes and maybe some character tweaks and some other things, it's Street Fighter 4 again. You know, there's nothing to really talk about here. This is like the 10th version of the fucking game. But thankfully, it is the last version. This is it. This is all done. This is the last one before Street Fighter 5. So, thank God. You know, when we're finally done with Ultra Street Fighter 4 after tomorrow, after it's come out, that's it. Capcom's done with it, let's hope. You know? Because, come on, let's put some work into Street Fighter 5 now. Come on. Street Fighter 4 has been done. It's been beaten like a dead horse, pretty much, for 5 years since the game came out. So, yeah, time to stop, I think, and hopefully this will be it. It wasn't for the Xbox One, which kind of doesn't surprise me, but then sort of does. It's like, a lot of people are probably going to be pissed, like, oh my god, it's only coming out for the PS4. But I think the reason is for that is because, obviously, Street Fighter 5 is going to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive game. Sony obviously bought the Street Fighter, whatever it is. Obviously, I think Capcom probably thought the Xbox One wasn't really going to sell that well with all its anti-gamer stuff at last year's E3, when the console was announced about 2-3 years ago now. It's been such a long time. But obviously, they must have thought, gee, it's not really, the PlayStation 4 is selling by the million load still, so it would make more sense for us to just make it focus on PlayStation 4 exclusive, which in a way I guess I'm a little annoyed about, because I've already said in my Justice playthrough, and I think Mortal Kombat I said it as well, that I'm not really too fond of the PlayStation 4 controller for fighting games, but it's something I can adjust to. And apparently the PlayStation 3 arcade sticks are actually going to be compatible with Street Fighter 4 on the PlayStation 4, so I can always pick one of those up at a later date. I'm not really going to fuss with it right now, because like I said, Street Fighter 4, who cares? You know, apart from people that probably want it on the next gen version just to fulfill their Street Fighter kind of stuff until Street Fighter 5 comes out, maybe for practice or something. I mean, that's probably what I'm going to be getting it for, just to get really back into the swing of Street Fighter before Street Fighter 5 comes out. That's pretty much why I'm picking it up tomorrow. So, I probably might do a day one online set. I'm not really going to focus on the arcade modes for now. I can go straight online because I've already played the game a bunch of times already, so I can go straight online tomorrow and just completely suck ass because I'm not really good with the PlayStation 4 controller. But I think that could be just me playing so much of Killer Instinct. I think, to be honest, that could be the reason why I'm not too keen on that, because the only fighting games that have ever come out for the PlayStation 4 are Dead or Alive 5, which I thought the story mode was a fucking shit. Let's be honest, I got bored and I just thought I ended putting this up because it was so fucking boring. And Injustice Gods Among Us, which actually was pretty good, and I actually didn't do too bad. So I probably might do an online set tomorrow. It depends on certain factors, but hopefully I'll be able to get that started because I'm literally out of footage for Backlog now, if anything at all. You know, all the stuff that I've got now are episode 2s of the story-tailored games. I'll go into a bit more detail about that in a second because I actually want to give my thoughts on some things. But let's talk about the release on Friday. Now this is good. Splatoon. I'm really intrigued by this. It's completely like oddball, isn't it? It's a complete oddball release out of nowhere. And it's like, wow, this is completely new. It's like I've always said with Nintendo since the Wii U came out. They seem to be coming out with the newest stuff. I say it every time I sort of bring up Nintendo, apart from my Wii U, my Mewtwo Smash set, where I completely ran on a tirade for no reason. I do apologise to people that might be a bit kind of like, what on earth by that. I did think I caused a stir slightly. I didn't mean to, you know, I even said in the set I didn't really want to sound like a complete douche or one of those anti-Nintendo people, because I'm most certainly not a Nintendo hater, I'm far from it. But apparently I ruffled a couple of feathers from a couple of, actually Sonic for Hire just wanted clearing up on what I was talking about. Basically, the lag just frustrated me, you know, basically. I knew it was going to be laggy. To be honest, I did. You know, I even said at the start of the set, I expected it to be laggy because obviously you need one of those LAN adapters for the Wii U, which is a bit strange considering everything else has Ethernet cables. But I don't know, maybe Nintendo, you know, I don't know what the reason is for that. That's a really new one on me. You know, all the other consoles and platforms have Ethernet cables, but the Wii U doesn't. I guess online gaming is really the norm, but not everyone's gonna have the best internet ever. You know what I mean? I don't think that was really the case for it. I don't know what I mean, mine is like 30 megabits or something. I don't know, but. Yeah, I completely went in knowing it was going to be laggy, but it just frustrated me to the point where I started talking out of my ass pretty much. Well, that's how Sonic for Hire put it. Well, he didn't put it like that, but I was kind of saying things that weren't making sense, like something about Sonic, Black Knight, and Secret Rings, and then who like it's not tailored for the Wii U, and then I completely forgot the fact that I was playing Sonic Colors. He got me on that one. I was like, oh shit. I actually completely forgot that I played Sonic Colors for the Sonic Marathon and actually enjoyed it. So yeah, it was just me talking out of my ass, basically. But no, I'm not a Nintendo hater, far from it. I actually, like I've said a couple of times already this year, and over the last couple of years actually, Nintendo actually deserves props, a lot of them, because the Wii U is actually coming out with like new games, or you know, something new. You know, it's not pumping out the Call of Duties every year, or overhyped games like the Order 8086 or Destiny. You know, they're not kind of pumping out these games that are completely overhyped and then they end up turning to be butts, basically. I'm not saying Destiny's the Order of bad games, they just ended up being really kind of busts in the eyes of a lot of people, I guess. For me, you know, I didn't know what to think of the Order Destiny. I didn't particularly enjoy it, and Titanfall I actually did. But I'm being a dead horse there. So, Splatoon. I have no idea what to expect. I know there was a demo that was supposedly released, but myself and Tom completely spaced it. We completely forgot about it for some reason. I think there was a Nintendo Direct recently, but we completely forgot to watch it, and then we completely forgot to check out the demo. But the weird thing about the demo was supposedly that it was actually, you could only come on the demo at specific times. I was like, huh? That's really strange. Nintendo's demos sometimes really kind of make me think, what on earth, you know? I think it was Smash that had only 30 uses on 3DS, and then there was this weird thing with Splatoon, like, oh, you can only come on at this time, and this time. I guess with Splatoon it could have been more about the servers, maybe, you know, they wanted to test the servers at specific times, I guess. I didn't really find out the reasoning behind it, but that's probably the most logical thing that could make sense. So I have no idea what to expect with Splatoon, but you know, it's a nice quirky game, isn't it? You know, it's kind of the quirky side of a third-person shooter, you know, a kind of genre that's been overused, in a lot of cases. The Nintendo and the Wii U take that genre and actually put some fun, quirky stuff into it. So Splatoon is going to be really interesting. I don't know what I'm going to do with Splatoon. I don't know whether there's a campaign or it works differently to like traditional campaign games. I don't know. I might just go straight online with Lady Tomlo for the day. We might just play online, and maybe Sonic Fire will come on and play it with us. So I don't know what I'm going to do with Splatoon yet, but you'll definitely probably see it on Friday, I would assume. It just depends on what that is at the time. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Splatoon. It looks really unique and really kind of fun to play, just for the uniqueness of it. You know, and it's kind of a nice break from all the remasters and all the other stuff that we've had. Just this week, you know, we've got another version of Street Fighter, and then Nintendo comes out with a brand new game like Splatoon. It pretty much proves my point that Nintendo are doing better than the next generation of consoles, even though the Wii U is a next generation console, in my opinion. They all are. That's what I basically meant by that. But yeah, you know, all the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One coming out with these remasters and these games that are overhyped, whereas the Wii U and Nintendo seem to come out with unique games like new games like Splatoon. You know, it kind of like sends home the fact that, gee, Nintendo might not have had the best start with the Wii U, but in cases of the Splatoon, like, you know, the Wii U was out a year before the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, yet the Wii U's had the better games, well, first party anyway. They don't need the third party titles. I said it before, they don't need the third party titles because the first party titles have always been better than most of the other, like the first party titles on the other consoles. It's just the very few, like say Gears of War or Uncharted, that have beaten out Nintendo in most cases. But as far as like most games go these days, Nintendo is still out on top when it comes to releasing new, unique games, whereas the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, like I said, it's just like remaster after remaster after remaster. We've had 2 versions of Final Fantasy, 20,000 versions of Street Fighter, and there's the Wii U and Nintendo just strolling along, bringing out these new games that are actually fun to play, and it's something new. You know, it pretty much proves the point that the Wii U may not be, in the eyes of a lot of picky gamers these days, the best console, but they have the better games, you know, and they have the newer games, you know, the new stuff. So, yeah, it's completely unique and completely oddball Splatoon, and I think it's going to be very interesting to see how that works out. So that's pretty much it for the releases this week. I just want to say what's going on because a lot of you probably would be confused as to what's going on right now, because like I said, my footage is kind of drying up a little bit now. Basically, the next stuff that will be coming out are probably, apart from maybe tomorrow, well, starting from tomorrow actually, because I'm just gonna upload this video today. So I have something to split with Street Fighter tomorrow. I've basically done all the episode 2s of the story-tailored games, say Tales of Borderlands, Game of Thrones, Life is Strange, The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us. I've pretty much done all those, aside from The Wolf Among Us, but I'll do that last because that's already been done already. But I've done all the new episode 2s. Game of Thrones had a really great start. I think that's what I'm going to actually go with tomorrow. I'm actually going to start with the Game of Thrones episode 2 and split that with my online set of Street Fighter or whatever I decide to do on that tomorrow. So that'll actually be starting with Street Fighter tomorrow. Will be actually that and Game of Thrones episode 2. It's a great fucking start. It only gets better, you know, and some really crazy stuff happens. Tales of Borderlands, I did episode 2. I really did enjoy that actually, and it ended on a complete cliffhanger. I won't spoil it, but man, that cliffhanger was nuts. It was like, what? It just ends like that, and then you don't know what's going to start in episode 3. That's going to be great to see when that eventually happens. Life is Strange Episode 2 you've already seen, oh my god. Life is Strange, I will say this. I know it's very soon, but I've actually already done Episode 3 of Life is Strange, but I want to get this out there right now. Life is Strange is pretty much one of my all-time favourite games already. And I'm putting that alongside Sonic 3 and Gears of War and all that stuff. Life is Strange is probably one of the best games I ever played, probably since Life is Strange there. Sonic 3 or Gears of War. It's that good. Seriously, it is that good. Episode 3 ended on the most shocking shit I think I've ever seen in my life. I cannot wait to put that up. You guys are going to be, like, you probably guys have already seen it. But seriously, I'm not going to spoil it for someone who hasn't, but it ends on the craziest shit ever. And I'm sitting there like this. I just got a complete shock on my face. I end up rambling to myself because I'm so freaking shocked at what just happened in front of me. It was completely not. Life is Strange is pretty much one of my favourite games of all time, and we haven't even finished it yet. Seriously, if you've not played that game, freaking play it. It is an absolute... It's just amazing. It's just as good as some Telltale stuff, and maybe even some people will say it's better. I personally can't really decide, because Telltale's work is magnificent. But Square Enix have really, you know, taken that on board, and even with their own stuff. They probably copied a lot of stuff of what Telltale did, but at the same time, holy shit, the stuff they put into the game and the story, damn. You know, it's like, I've got so much hype right now. I so want episode 4 to just come out already. You know, I so want to freaking play that. You know, it's just absolute crazy stuff in Life is Strange. It's amazing. It really is. And you guys need to play it. I guarantee you that. You know, I'm as close to saying that I think with Life is Strange, I'm probably going to have to get it on the Xbox One and PC just to play it on that. Seriously, I don't really do that with games that often, but Life is Strange is something you just want to play over and over and over again. It's that good. It's pretty much like I was with Sonic 3. You know, in Sonic 3 Knuckles, I played that game to death. It looks like Life is Strange, I could be doing the same thing. So it's that good. I've not seen a game that good in a long time. Seriously, it's props to Square Enix and whoever else does it. Props, because you've got a fantastic game on your hands here. And I just hope it gets all the plaudits it deserves at the end of with the Game of the Year awards and such. I don't know if it will, but hopefully it gets something, because it freaking deserves it. But yeah, check it out. You guys have to. Even if you're not a fan of the storytelling genre, it's worth playing. Seriously. Oh, alright, I need to calm down. So that is it. Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Game of Thrones Episode 2 goes up tomorrow. I think I'll be getting Street Fighter 4 digitally, I think. I don't know if my game store is doing it, but... and then after that, Friday will obviously be something to do with Splatoon, although I'm not quite sure what yet, because I don't know what to expect, because I didn't get to check out the demo, because I completely forgot about it. And that's it. So, let's see. 31. Is that 34? That's 34? It's only for half an hour? Shit. Oops. Oh well, I'm going to be out of here then before I talk anymore. And, yeah, you know what to expect. I've just explained it. I'm not going to repeat myself because I don't do that. I'm out of here. Peace out.